Scotland is home to a 600-year-old whiskey industry, but have you ever really wondered, how do the economics work? The fundamentals of understanding single malt Scotch whiskey come down to very, very simple supply and demand economics. And my parents will be very happy that they paid for my economics degree in order for me to explain this to you. In understanding single malt Scotch whiskey, you have to understand that
to make an 18-year-old whiskey takes 18 years of aging in a cask.
Because the aging of whiskey only happens when it's in the cask. Once whiskey's put into the bottle, all aging stops. So that 30-year-old Macallan is going to be a 30-year-old Macallan forever. But what impact this has on supply and demand is it's very, very difficult, actually impossible, to be able to project how much whiskey, single malt whiskey, the world's gonna need 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So guess what? The industry generally gets it wrong.
Well, sometimes the universe gets it wrong.
If you look back over history, back in the 1980s, we were in oversupply situation where the world didn't really have much demand for whiskey, recession in the UK, Margaret Thatcher days, just tough times all around. So prices were low. 1990s, things started to get a little bit better because the US started drinking single malt whiskey. In the 2000s, then things started going down again because we had 9/11, dot-com crash, and oversupply. Fast forward to the 2010s, this is the rise of China. This is when mainland China started drinking whiskey, not in huge portions, but enough to drive prices up. And also where we saw the prices of Japanese whiskey start to rise. The last 4 to 5 years, we've been in what I would call a COVID hangover. During COVID, a lot of people stayed home and got pretty drunk, myself included. But what happened was a lot of whiskey got stuck in the supply chain. So we're talking about retail, we're talking about travel retail, bars, restaurants, and that oversupply in the last 3 years has led to prices coming down almost 30 to 40%. And that brings us to 2026, where we think that now the next 12 to 18 months presents an opportunity for recovery. I'm sure you've read in the media recently that people are drinking less, health concerns, change in generations. And while that is true, if you zoom out and take a 10-year view, it tells a different story. Back in 2016, looking at US consumption of alcohol, it was at about $5 billion per month. And it was gradually increasing for about 4 years. Then the pandemic happened. Everyone got super drunk for about 2 years because alcohol sales spiked to almost $7 billion per month. Now, since then, and after the pandemic, we've gone back to work. We've hopefully found a bit more purpose and reason in life. And so alcohol sales has come down. While the media is reporting correctly the facts that in the last 2 years, the volume of alcohol sales in the US has decreased. In fact, we are exactly where we should be if the pandemic hadn't happened. So if you go deeper into the data, we're definitely seeing a trend of drink less, drink better. What does that mean? It means that generally speaking, people who used to go out 3, 4, 5 times a week, going out drinking maybe only once or twice. But when they do, they're reaching for a nicer bottle of wine or that amazing Scotch whiskey or cocktail after dinner. So what we're seeing, generally speaking, at least in the United States, is gin sales and vodka sales declining, but categories like single malt whiskey actually on the uprise.